Learning fighting games can be quite the daunting task for a beginner. There's a lot of information out there because there's a bunch of different concepts that you must learn just to reach competency, so it can be quite difficult for a beginner to pick out which information that they should be focusing on. In this video, I'll be giving you 5 tips that will be your roadmap and taking you from beginner to an intermediate level. The first tip is anti-air. Have you ever noticed in lower levels that players tend to jump a lot? Now, the reason why they do this is because this is the only way they know how to get damage, because they lack a proper ground game. So therefore, it's important for you to be able to anti-air command to stop your opponent from getting free damage. Now, I can't teach you a methodology to anti-air in every game because that's going to differ from game to game, but I can teach you 2 general principles that you should keep in mind about anti-airs. They are which your character's normals are anti-airs and what is the spacing that they're able to anti-air. Normally, getting this information will require you to do it manually, but you can simply bypass all this by joining your character's Discord or your respective community's games Discord/Reddit. The second tip is to learn neutral. Learning neutral can be quite daunting because many people tend to overload beginners with a lot of information to the point of frustration. So instead of doing that, I'm going to teach you a very basic way you can learn neutral using the 3-step method that Guilty Gear champion Machable uses. Machable's method is composed of 3 different things that can help facilitate decision making in neutral, and they are Okiwaza, Atewaza, Sashi, Kaeshi. Now, because these terms are in Japanese, it can be a little bit confusing. So instead of using these terms, I'm going to be using the terms that my homie NDLL uses in his video about this topic instead, because I believe it encapsulates what these terms mean perfectly. They are preemptive, aggression, and expecting. Preemptive is throwing out buttons to take up the space in front of you. Aggressive is taking aggressive actions such as dash for a throw or buttons. Expecting is waiting outside the range of your opponent's preemptive buttons to set up with punish opportunities. Each of these concepts work together to create the perfect rock, paper, scissors structure in which preemptive beats aggressive, aggressive beats expecting, and expecting beats preemptive. Now, how you apply the structure is going to be different from game to game and character to character, but the overall concept is still the same. The third tip is to learn combos. Now that you know to anti-air and play neutral, you're going to want to convert the hits that you're getting into big damage, and this is where combos come in. How you learn combos is very simple, by watching character guides or joining your character's Discord. From there, you can figure out which combos are practical for you to use in a match. A good rule of thumb for practical combos is look for combos that allow you to combo off your pokes, your anti-airs, and also off your whiff punish normals. The fourth tip is to learn which moves are unsafe. A lot of lower level players tend to rely on unsafe moves because these are the moves that net the biggest reward when hit. So knowing which moves are unsafe will help you score more damage whenever you block these moves in a match. One way to figure out which moves are punishable is by looking at frame data. Now, I won't cover how to read frame data in this video because there are a bunch of guides out there that will teach you how to read frame data. Now, if you don't want to go the frame data method, there's another method you can use, and that's simply, once again, joining your character's Discord or your game community's Reddit/Discord and asking about which moves are unsafe there. The fifth tip is to understand that this is a journey. A lot of beginners get into fighting games and often get disheartened when they can't see improvements in their gameplay. This often can lead to frustration, and often in some cases the player just flat out quit. So I want everyone to understand who watches this video that whenever you choose to set a goal in a fighting game, no matter how small it is, it's going to require some work. I understand that it can be frustrating to feel stuck, and we've all been there before, but you can't choose to focus on your emotions, especially if you want to achieve your goal. So I encourage you guys to fall in love with the process and journey and get the key information that you need whenever you do hit the wall, which you can find information about how to break by clicking on this video right here. So go ahead, take a look, and I'll see you guys there.